From the TADA Theatre in the historic Haymarket, it's Lincoln Late Night Live, the holiday episodes. Tonight, winner of Miss Nebraska, Allison Tietjen. Former meteorologist and news icon, Rod Fowler. Stand-up comedy from legend Brad Stewart. Playwright, actress, and stunt woman, Becky Boesen. Also, we have music from Johnny Manhattan and Ruby Diamond. I'm Rod Fowler, along with Bill Maltus and the 88 Keys. And now, here are Santa's little helpers, Julie Burney and Bob Rook.
Good evening. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Thank you for being here.
Happy holidays.
I'm Bob Rook.
And I'm Julie Burney.
Yay!
Bob Rook is a famous traveling comedian. He's worked with Louis Black and Norm Macdonald, among many other people.
I did for a long
For a
time,
long
and
time.
now look where I am.
Yeah. And now he's working with me.
The fabulous Julie Burney,
There
though.
you
Let's
go.
be honest here. Julie, an award-winning humorist, speaker, and she does laundry on Thursdays.
I do. Listen, we're very excited to be here. This is my favorite season because it's the one time a year I have permission to spread goodwill to all men. So I like it.
And it is my favorite part of the season because Julie has permission to spread goodwill to all men.
There we
and
go.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm having a good season. It's good. Hey, listen, we're very excited, and one of the things that why we thought it was so great to do this show is because we love to share the gift of laughter.
I do.
That's
I
right.
want
So
to
we
give.
want to show the gift to share that with you tonight.
That's right. I just want
And
to
the
give
gift of music, and the gift of Rod
Yeah.
Fowler, and the
Bill.
gift of Bill. Yeah, we have lots of gifts we're sharing tonight. So. What
and
do you
all
want?
we, well, I just want to give the gift of laughter too.
Okay.
And in return, I need a new transmission.
Oh, that's what you want.
That's fair.
Are you having car trouble?
Yes, just a little bit.
yeah.
I have dome light issues. Anybody else have those dome lights that go on and off by themselves? I do. It's like driving a disco. Staying alive. So, yeah, it's lots of fun.
Going down the road.
That's right. That was my impression of driving with a dome light. That was impression.
There you go.
Thank
Sorry.
Yeah, the show will get better as we go along. I
Yeah,
promise. I
If we
promise.
do this enough.
I can do one impression. Though.
Okay,
I can
what's
do
that?
Well, here, I'll show you. Here, hold this.
Let me hold
I
that
like
for
to
you.
do this. I like to wear this. I'm going over to 7-Eleven. Can I get anybody anything? It's my impression of every guy that works at Perkins at 2 o'clock in the morning. Who had the pancakes? I'm going to wear this for the rest of the show.
Oh my
just to irritate-
gosh.
You like that?
That's a look.
Better not. It's going to ruin my toupee from the Rod Fowler collection.
There you go.
I want that back,
Let me-
you know.
Yeah, there you
Is
go.
it on straight?
Let me help you there.
Thank
there
you.
you go. Now you look
Ooh,
lovely.
that's what it
Yeah.
takes to get you to touch
That's
me. Awesome.
goodwill.
That's good. We're going to get things rolling with a part of the show that Julie and I like to touch on subjects from our fabulous local paper here, the Lincoln Urinal. This is the part of our show that we call
Twinkle, twinkle, journal star.
From the four corners of the earth, where everyone gets their news. Everyone? What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, this is Twinkle Twinkle Journal Star, where we at Lincoln Late Night share with you news from Lincoln's one and only newspaper. Today's news is brought to you by The Mill, including their new location at Innovation Campus. Coffee from The Mill. Stop in and get all you need for Christmas gifts.
Thanks, Rod.
Here's the news, Julie.
Local car mechanic Bill Tires shared some cost-saving tips at this week's automobile conference at the Lancaster Event Center. Tip 1, if you don't have money to repair your brakes, make your horn louder.
In health news today, my dietitian has confirmed that vegetarians can eat animal crackers. Awesome, Julie.
Thanks, Bob. It was announced today that 42.7% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Bob?
Lincoln's Small Business Association has named Dan Nipsey as their Businessman of the Year. At the reception, he said that there are 2 rules for success. 1, don't tell all you know.
More and more breweries are popping up.
I'll get that
was
later.
a grenade. I just tossed it to see how long it would take it to get.
More and more breweries are popping up all over the city, as are the amount of fake IDs.
That's right, Julie. And by this time next year, there will be 4 more breweries in Lincoln, which reminds me of the time a screwdriver walked into a bar and the bartender says, "We have a drink named after you." And the screwdriver said, "Really? You got a drink named Irving?"
Thanks, Bob.
You're going to take that home with you, folks. I know you will. Julie?
The Children's Museum said that they will not be offering the Letters to Santa event this year. After last year's mishap, when Johnny asked Santa to send him a sister, and he received a letter in return that read, "Okay, send me your mother."
LPS has reports that several students are dropping out of area high schools. When one student was asked about it, they said, "Education is important, but other stuff is more importanter."
In health news, doctors have confirmed that a healthy night's sleep not only makes your life longer, but it also shortens the workday.
In a related story, I celebrate 60 days of sleeping with my new CPAP. I just wanted to brag because 2 nights in a row, I like to turn over to my wife and wearing it and do my Bane impression from Batman. "So you think this gives you power over me?" I wanted to share that.
That's
Back to you.
important news. Thank you, Bob.
Back to you there.
A study released today shows that 1 in 5 people in the world are Chinese. That's odd. There are 5 people in my family, so it must be one of them. It could be my brother Colin or my younger brother Ho Cha Chu. I think it's Colin.
I think it's Tom.
Yeah.
Our own Bill Maltus announced today that he has found out that he is colorblind. The diagnosis came completely out of the purple.
More and more computer scams are popping up all over during the holidays. And for only $19.95, I can show you how to avoid them.
In a related story, several banks were victim of a viral theft last week when customers were sent emails asking for their passwords to their accounts. Which reminds me, I will change my password to the word incorrect. So that way, every time I type it in, it says your password is incorrect. It will remind me what my password is. Julie?
That's brilliant, Bob. The arena announced earlier this month that Jay-Z canceled his appearance, stating, "Due to the scale of the production, we cannot get the screens up on time into the building." Again, Jay-Z is unable to get it up in Nebraska.
I'd like to take a moment and wish my daughter a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Megan.
Yeah, happy birthday, Megan.
Megan will also graduate from UNL next weekend.
Woo!
In a related story, please see my GoFundMe account. Please do that. Julie?
UNL has a record number of students graduating this fall. Chancellor Ronnie Green says that behind every successful student, there's a deactivated Facebook account.
And Whole Foods announced that they will have a clearance sale of beer nuts this month and apologized for the misprint in their ad that said deer nuts. The manager reminded us that beer nuts are $1.75 and deer nuts are just under $1.
Hey-o! There you go, folks. That's the news. Now it's time for a joke off. Here are some quick zingers for you to take home as our gift to you. Julie, joke off, if you please.
Joke off!
Everybody, joke off!
There we go. I used to be addicted to Thanksgiving leftovers, but I quit them cold turkey.
Joke off!
Woo!
My New Year's resolution was to read more, so I'm going to put the closed captioning feature on my TV. Joke off!
Remember, where there's a will, there's a relative. Joke off!
And to the man on crutches, dressed in camouflage, who stole my wallet, you can hide, but you can't run.
Yes, there are your singers for tonight.
Make 'em laugh,
We'll be right back
make
with the
'em
woman
laugh.
I voted for,
Don't you know all
Miss
the world
Nebraska.
wants to laugh. Kids from 1 to 92. Finish it out. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Bill Maltus, everybody, right there.
Amazing.
Isn't it great? We got Bill Maltus, got Rod Fowler over there. Thanks, guys, for being part of the
Thank
show. We
you.
appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Give them a round of applause if you would. Big Rod Fowler over there. That's how Rod looks in low def. Yeah. What are you asking for Christmas this year, Rod?
I am asking, well, speaking the mic, right?
You
I'm
novice.
I'm asking to win the lottery. How do I get that done?
Wrong guy to talk to, man.
I'll just
I
keep
don't know.
pushing, I guess, you know.
I don't know. I don't even win at Yahtzee or anything. So,
Yeah.
Bill, what
Monopoly.
are you asking for, man?
What am I asking for? Oh, a new keyboard is always good.
Yeah, I was gonna say something
Because
when
I
it
usually
started.
I only have two stacked up, so a third would,
third will
would
be
really
wonderful.
that'd hide my face.
Oh.
Julie, what do you want for Christmas?
All I want is goodwill for all men.
Well, I
That
feel
is-
bad now for asking for a material thing.
I'm preparing
That's
for
what I meant too. I
Okay,
was
but
actually
she
going
says
to
that
say.
out here backstage. She said that she wants a $25 gift card to Red Lobster.
Oh, well,
So
okay.
this
All right.
goodwill.
I
to
did
all
mention
men
the- yeah.
crap. Yeah.
No, I'm getting prepared for our next guest.
Okay.
Those, trying to give that great answer. But what do you want, Bob?
I have everything that I want. I have my friends here on stage, you, and this great audience here, doing a late night talk show. Dang nabbit. This is awesome. And man, we thank you guys for coming. We really do. And we thank the whole team here. What a great team. And Opie up there shooting us on film there. Yeah, it's great. All right.
All right,
Got
let's
my-
bring out our
got my
first
good
guest.
side?
Ready?
No, okay. He's got the wide angle lens for me. That's kind of depressing. I'm
He's
into
using-
weights now.
You
Can
are?
wait- yeah, I can wait up to about 8 hours. No problem. All right, that's good.
Listen, our
Heyo.
first guest, we're very excited to have her here. She is our Miss Nebraska. Please welcome Allison Tietjen.
Here she is.
Allison. Come on around here, Allison. Thank you. Oh, you look beautiful.
You look beautiful.
Oh, I almost wore that dress. I'm so glad.
We're twins.
I'm so glad that I didn't. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh my gosh.
I think we ought to let her sit in the middle.
Yeah. Stay.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Hey, we appreciate you being here. When were you crowned?
June 10th to be exact.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
How many people did you?
There were 16 total contestants, but then in addition to that, you have to win a local pageant to get into Miss Nebraska. And so to have a local crown, you have to have 4 girls. And so if you do the math, there was 4 girls for each title for Miss Nebraska.
And so what was your title before Miss Nebraska?
I was Miss Heartland at
Miss
Grand Island.
Heartland.
All right.
There we go.
how about that?
Good.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And tell people where you're from.
I am from Chester, Nebraska.
Does anybody know where Chester is? Okay, yeah, big, famous Chester.
All three. I was gonna say all 3 of them are here.
It's
so that's
south
cool.
of York, correct?
All 5 of them.
Yeah. All of them are in the audience. So that's just south of York, yeah?
Yeah, straight
Okay.
south of York on the Kansas border.
Yeah.
Town about 200 people.
Wow.
Allison, what got you started in doing pageants?
You know what? It was not something I ever considered doing. I grew up playing 4 sports a year, and then when I was in junior in high school, my mom and I were kind of thinking about how I was going to pay for college, and I met a Miss Nebraska, and she was like, I have a way you can pay for college. And I looked into it, and it was still kind of on the fence.
And you took her crown.
And then
ran
I
away.
went and I watched Miss Nebraska, and my mom and I are sitting there, and she's like, Allison, we cannot do this. And I was like, Mom, I think I can win that thing. And so then for like 4 years later. It took me three tries to win Miss Nebraska, but the third time was a charm.
All
so.
right.
All right.
So this was your third Miss Nebraska pageant.
It
Yeah, there you
was,
go.
yep.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a talent that you have to
Yes,
give?
I play the piano.
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Which brings us to our next Bill. It's been nice having you.
Thank you very much. I'll be.
You just wouldn't wear the crown as well, Bill.
I know.
So
Yeah.
classic piano or what? Do you?
I grew up actually playing a lot of like hymnals and church music. I learned a little bit of classical piano, but then the song I played for Miss Nebraska and Miss America was the Phantom of the Opera. So the main
Oh.
theme from the Phantom.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's neat.
Thank
Yes.
That's actually-
And what was it like to be at the Miss America
Oh my
pageant?
goodness, I had just the absolute best time at Miss America.
Yeah?
It was 2 weeks. I mean, I was kind of nervous for those 2 weeks because, I mean, you're with the best of the best at Miss America. But I just made amazing friends, had the best time. That final night of Miss Nebraska, it was kind of like this. Like, they get everyone clapping and, like, the live show starts. There's cameras everywhere. But it was just amazing. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Wow.
So it's not just the one night. You have a lot of things to do during the.
So they flew us out there 2 weeks before, and so it was 2 weeks of rehearsals, filming for the live show, rehearsals for the live show, but also preliminary rounds.
I got you.
And so then there was 3 nights of prelims.
I know there's contestants they don't like. They just fly them someplace else and they land there.
They don't do that.
Surprise!
Well, and then don't you some of the numbers you have matching costumes on or not? Everybody wears their own state decisions.
Yeah, everyone wears their own state. Even like our opening number, that was all our choice.
Okay.
And so everything that I got to wear, I got to choose,
Nice.
which is nice.
Little benefit.
Yeah.
So when you're Miss Nebraska, what are the perks of being Miss Nebraska?
First off, it paid for my school.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the reason I did it. Yeah, I'll clap to that. So I will graduate from the University of Nebraska debt-free, which is amazing to me. But also I get a
Yeah,
year.
that's amazing to me too.
Yeah.
But I get the most incredible year of traveling the state of Nebraska. I have been to every single corner. I was telling him driving around my Honda Accord that says official car of Miss Nebraska.
Yeah.
So it's just such a unique year for me. It's something that I'll never take for granted. I'll be a forever.
What types of appearances do you make and about how many?
I would
a
say
week?
I would say about 5 to 7 a week. It's usually once a day.
Yeah.
The bulk of my schedule is actually school visits, and so I speak to a lot of schools. But then besides that, it's Rotary clubs, Legion clubs, things like this. Just
Parades.
parades.
Yeah.
So big. It just really varies.
That's really awesome. And you're going to help the next Miss Nebraska figure out how to pay for her school too.
I sure am.
That's great.
What's your platform, Allison? What's important to you? What do you want to make sure people know?
So my platform is titled United We Stand, Honoring Our Military. And so as Miss Nebraska, I plan to do just that, is to just thank the good men and women who serve our country, who make America what it is today.
Excellent.
Um,
Excellent.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
So in my school visits, that's what I talk about.
Yeah, that's excellent.
What are you going to graduate in?
So I will graduate with Family Science and Nutrition next year. And then I'm actually going to apply to occupational therapy school.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm planning to
Do
keep
you
on.
have to go to another pageant to pay for that school?
I tell you what, this will be the last crown I wear.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I
so.
think you should wear the crowns anyway. Aren't you going to miss having a sash? I mean, that's part of your being now, isn't it?
I know, it really is just part of my wardrobe. Like, I plan out outfits so that it will, like, match the sash. And sometimes when I'm not wearing it, I'm like, oh, I need to, like, wear a necklace or something.
There you go.
But
Just start a new fashion thing with sashes with clever sayings on them.
exactly.
Maybe that will pay for
The next
school.
one will just say Allison Tietjen. And
There you
nice
go.
and sparkly.
There you go. That's
Put
right.
that on the side of your car after you. I'm still used to it.
So,
Still
is
here.
there some place where people can follow what you're doing?
Yep, I have on all social media. My social media is Miss America NE, but also you can go to Miss Nebraska organization or Miss Nebraska org, our website. You can learn all about me, all about the program. If you have someone who wants to compete for Miss Nebraska, that's the first place to start.
Great.
Let's say somebody does want to start. Would you encourage them to go through the pageant process? I mean, it's been good for you. Would you encourage other folks to do it?
100%.
100%.
It changed my life in such a positive way. To be like the Allison Tietjen that I am today is for me just pushing to be the best person myself. And so I would encourage anyone who might be on the fence of it to do it because it has changed my life in a very positive way. And I'm just very grateful for that.
What's been one of your favorite appearances that you've gotten to do so far?
wow, I've done a lot of crazy things. Just a couple weeks ago, I traveled to 4 blue ribbon schools with Governor Ricketts, and so that was really fun for me to, see little kids. And when they meet the governor, they see like, oh, this is the governor, and then they see Miss Nebraska with a crown sash. They're like, I get that better. So it was fun for me to meet him.
Me too.
He's
I
such
get that better than Pete
yeah.
Ricketts.
But no, the
That's
governor,
good.
he's such an amazing man. So it was nice to like spend the day with him and just have that really special moment.
Well, we have a thing here on the show this time, Allison, that Rod gets to ask every guest one question. So this is Rod's question. Here comes Mr. Fowler. Rod, your question for
I
Miss
know
Nebraska.
you've been traveling all over the state. What have you learned as far as the people? The good.
I truly have learned that Nebraska is, when they say Nebraska nice, that is dead on. Because I've been to so many small towns. I've been to Omaha, I've been to Scottsbluff, like you name it. I've probably been there, driven through it. I've just, like every single community I've been to, I've realized that there is something just so special about Nebraska. And I'm just so blessed that I get to be from this state, that I get to represent this state, because there's just something amazing about this. And I'm just so thankful that I get to experience every single part of Nebraska, because it really is amazing.
Well, you do such a darn good job. You're a great public speaker.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I do
Didn't
it
she do
every
great?
single day.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah,
Bless your
amazing.
heart, thank you.
Do you have interest in maybe pursuing any of that after you get done? I mean, are you
mean,
going to miss it, do you think, when
I
it's all
think
said
I'll
and
miss
done?
it. I think I will miss it just because
Gonna
it's
sit out in your driveway in the back of a car and wave at the girl?
right. It's just become my life because it's
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single
yeah.
day. But what I want to do, I want to work in the medical field. So that is kind of the different path. But who knows?
I have no doubt whatever you do, you're going to do great.
Oh, thank you.
We really do
Yes,
appreciate you being on.
congratulations. It's been awesome
Oh,
having
thank
you
you
here.
guys.
Good job. That's Miss
Thank you,
Nebraska.
Miss
We are
Nebraska.
well represented, everyone. We'll be right back after this break.
Quality, affordable theater. The place where the arts deserve attention. The TADA Theatre.
Visit us at the TADA Theatre in Lincoln's historic Haymarket. Call 438-TADA for tickets and see more on our website at tadatheater.info.
Bill Maltus, everybody. Welcome back.
Ho, ho!
Welcome back to Lincoln Late Night Live. I'm Bob Rook, along with my friend.
Julie Burney.
Yay.
I have to help him with that once in a while.
That's
but
not true. I know who you are.
It's all right. There you go.
This is a little part of the show where we like to read a holiday poem. And we're kind of old
a
school around
gift.
here. We enjoy it when Jimmy Stewart read poetry. And so we're going to ask our own Jimmy Stewart to read a poem. Is that okay, folks? Good, good, good?
Jimmy Stewart.
Okay, so if you'll give this to Mr. Jimmy Stewart over
Yeah, there you go. Jimmy.
Old Jimmy, young Jimmy, what do you want tonight?
there. Not near death, Jimmy, but that mediocre on Mike Douglas show.
Jimmy Stewart was
Jimmy
not
Stewart.
mediocre. Yeah.
Yes.
He was fantastic. You want to warn me about this next time? Wow.
That's the same one you did in rehearsal, so
Okay,
that's
all
good.
right.
That all. That's good.
We'll keep going. This one is called Snowball. I made myself a snowball, as perfect as could be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I made it some pajamas and a pillow for its head. Then last night it ran away, but first it wet the bed.
Yeah, how about that? Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy.
That was a good one.
Fun, yeah. So we've been
That
doing
one was-
impressions all week, and Rod, you're a master impressionist. What impression have you brought with you today?
Well, let's see. How about this one? Looking at the age of the crowd, let's see if they know who this is.
Well, we just did Jimmy Stewart, so let's hope that there's a...
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
I miss Paul Harvey, Rod. I like it when he just threw in stuff. Remember that? She was bludgeoned to death with a hammer from True Value. Yeah. You know, I I thought that was cool.
And he was wearing Wells Lamont gloves.
This is fun. Okay, here's
Now
our
you know
next
the
guest.
rest of the
Hey, look
story.
at this. Our next guest is Rod Fowler. Rod, you want to come on over?
Right, come on over.
You know, we've been doing this for 3 nights now,
Yep,
and
man.
every single guest that you have gets a big welcome. They get to come through the curtains. I want to come through the curtains.
Yeah, let him.
Can I?
Let him.
Is that okay?
Rod, go.
Go.
Bill, hit me with some music, man. Let's
Let's
give him.
have some
Let's do this
intro
right for
music.
him.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Hit me with some special lights there, Ariana. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen him on KLKN News. He's an all-round fine guy from Iowa. Welcome the one and only Rod the Hitman Fowler.
Yes! Rod!
You didn't know I smoked a pipe, did you? Thanks for having me.
This is exactly what he wears around the newsroom, too, so this is fascinating. Rod,
These
we
are
figured
nice.
Rod has been such a sport being our announcer on this show, and he did it in June. And we should also mention you are the president of the TADA Theatre Board of Directors.
There you go.
They won't get rid of me, so I'm still the president. And yeah, how many years has it been now?
For TADA or for you?
For me,
Three.
yeah.
3 to 4?
Well, I was on the board before I became president, so yeah, it's marching right up there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Got an announcement you want to make? All jokes aside, Rod is one of my best friends, and they don't get any better than this. I've been in this industry for a long time, and anybody who meets Rod knows what a great guy he is, and he goes above and beyond what he does, what you see on television. He's out there doing Santa Cop. He's out there doing many things to help our community, and you've really become the face of broadcasting in Lincoln.
Oh, thank you.
Plus, you're one of my good friends. and
Gonna make
we're
me
lucky to have
blush?
you. Yeah, but you're a good man, my
Thank
friend.
you.
So I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Now, with that said, man, do I have some stuff
Oh,
to
I
talk to you
bet.
about.
Yeah. Hit me, but not hard.
No, that's
okay.
true. When did you start broadcasting? I didn't know that.
Let's see. I graduated from Iowa State. No booze, please. Come on, it's a good school. Iowa State in 1989, and the station that I was working at hired me full time right out of college. So I started January 1st, 1990, at the ABC station in Ames, Des Moines, and then the university sold it in '94, and we moved out here in '96. The company said, we're starting up a brand new TV station, and we want you to be out there and let's make it a success. So I signed a 5-year contract. Ooh.
And
And-
it's about up now, right?
Yeah.
It'll be 22 years. We went on the air April Fool's Day, 1996. So it'll be we'll be coming on 22 years. So hard to believe. So that
Well,
5 years.
we're glad
yeah.
that you're still here,
Well,
man,
thank you.
because I know when that comes up every once in a while, you're like, don't know. But
Yeah.
aren't we glad that he's here? Isn't he
Oh,
cool?
yeah.
So our friendship goes back to me directing you in a production. The first time I met you was directing you in a production of Wizard of Oz.
That's
this
right.
is true. It was an all-star celebrity production of Wizard of Oz. Terry Tiber, one of your former co-anchors,
Right.
was the Wicked Witch, and
I
we
was a
had-
Tin Man.
That's right. And you sang. In that
Right.
show. And Rod wanted to do his own singing. Now, the funny part about that was we told everybody else they didn't have to do their singing. And Don Wesley was the scarecrow. And I remember getting that phone call. You told me we didn't have to sing, and Rod's singing, so do I have to sing? No, you do not have to sing. But
That's
Mr.
right.
Fowler would like to sing. How'd you enjoy that?
I loved it. When a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle, but yet I'm torn apart. Just because I'm presuming that I should be kind of human if I only had a heart.
There you
That's
go.
amazing.
But that was a lot of fun. If I remember, it was a fundraiser, wasn't it?
Let's say it was. 'cause
Yeah,
I don't
it was a
know.
fundraiser.
Just say it was. But then you made little cameos and shows that I directed for the Lincoln Symphony, as well as you were in Beauty and the Beast
Beauty.
out at Pinewood Bowl. You remember that?
I had 4 lines or so.
Yeah, it
And
was
which
awesome.
one were you?
I was the bookkeeper or the
The
store.
bookseller that comes up to Belle and
Gotcha.
Yeah.
forces her to buy a book, and then.
So I'd run out right after the 6 o'clock and park behind the Pinewood Bowl, come out, do my 4 lines, and get in the car and zoom back and get ready for the 10. So
Probably good you weren't the beast. That might have not given credibility to the news
yeah,
when you
I
ran
didn't have
back
time to
in.
take it off.
Yeah, forgot to move part of it. That's right.
makeup. Yeah.
Rod, how have you seen local news change in town since, well, because 22 years, but you've been doing news before
Right.
that. And Rod and I actually met doing that Wizard of Oz, and then we had a radio show together, which is fun, on KZUM Radio, and he was the announcer for that. And then you said, hey, we're starting at 5 o'clock. Do you want to do an entertainment report? And I was like, okay, for how long? And they said 4 months.
And that's about coming up now, too.
20
isn't it?
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 20
Yeah.
years. But talk about how the business has changed a little bit, because now we're in the world of Twitter and all
Oh,
this
and that's
stuff.
excuse me, that's the biggest thing, is as far as covering the news, here in Lincoln, I think it hasn't changed that much. We still try and be fair, balanced, all that kind of stuff, provide interesting stories that either educate you or amuse you or whatever. The biggest thing is social media. Now it's get it on Facebook, get it on Twitter, get it on the website. And if you have our app, you're going to get what we call a push, which is going to be breaking news, and everybody has those now. So it's just, that's how it's changed the most. It used to be, let's get it ready for the news, but first now we have to do this.
Because everything's so immediate now.
Right.
Everybody says, oh, news is breaking, and by the time we get it in the newsroom, it's already been on Twitter or it's been on Facebook.
And it's become a more community event. I mean, everybody has cell phones now, everybody has cameras in there, so everybody's shooting video, whether it's good or bad, or you know what I mean. And so we get help from the viewers a lot of times, especially during storms. They're sending in pictures of hail, snow, whatever it may be. So we reach out to them now they're reaching back. So it's really nice.
I think the other thing that I want people to know is that even though we have different stations in town, we're friends with other folks that are on those stations. And in fact, the other co-anchor who is on 1011 started with us, and he's an all-around
Good
nice
friend of mine,
gentleman,
Billy.
too.
You
Bill,
bet.
Bill.
Yep.
But you've trained a lot of people that have gone on to do news, and then Hannah with teammates. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. You have this guy. Not only he doesn't just come in like some Ron Burgundy type of guy, but he reads all the stories. He sits down with all the reporters before they go on, and it is a fascinating thing to witness from afar when you walk in and see this guy doing all that work. So
We have to prove all their scripts before they can go and voice them. And, that's mainly so it's, again, fair and balanced. It makes sense. It's short enough to keep everybody's attention span, and we don't get sued, So,
The important things.
right. And so we have to make sure that. We were just figuring out the other day, I think in the 21 years, right around 70 reporters have come through, because they usually sign a 2-year contract or so, and then they move on. And a lot of them go to Omaha. We have them all over the country now. I try and stay in touch with a lot of them. And as kind of a mentor, I used to be their big brother. Now I'm their father figure. Won't be too much longer. I'll be grandpa figure. But it's kind of great to see and keep up with them and see how they've succeeded and moved on.
Speaking of other reporters, who was your favorite co-anchor that you've had? Oh, we didn't know I was going to ask that, did you? You got to say your favorite.
Sometimes people try and stump me. They'll go, "Can you name all of your co-anchors?" I said, "Yep."
Go ahead.
Michelle Bandura,
Right.
Terry Tiber,
Right.
Sue Turner,
Right.
Natalie Fonts,
Right.
Lauren Silverman, Vanessa Brown, and Megan Conway. Boom.
Do-do-do.
So
Yeah.
Megan,
Well, we
sa-
have a surprise for you, Rod.
Megan says she's lucky
Ladies,
number
come
7.
on out.
They all flew in from across the country.
Should have seen his face. He's like, oh, I know. But you have no favorites.
No, everybody, it's just like anything. Everybody brings something strong to the table, and they all had that. So, yeah. I love them all.
Well played, sir. Well played.
So now that you've seen him in this outfit, you're really gonna does he give credibility to your news? That's what I'm wondering. Does that help him? as
Our
the
top
anchor?
story tonight, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, they call Rod in for everything. You had to come in and cover the we
The
had
firing and the
the
hiring.
firing and the hiring of the coach and
Right.
all of that stuff. And but what people really don't know is what a great Sony PlayStation player you are. When we stress relief, we play wrestling, and he likes to think that he's really good at college football because he wins all the time by going, "What do these keys do?" "Oh, Hail Mary," and then he wins. That irritates me.
In the college or in the wrestling one, you can create your own character. So he created a Rod Fowler.
Rod the Hitman Fowler, yes.
He's got a white shirt, a tie, and he's got anchor hair. And when he comes out from behind the curtain, he comes out, he's all ready to wrestle, and he stops, he goes,
Does the Ric Flair walk? I only did that because you always chose Hulk Hogan every night. And finally, I was just like, dude, watch this. And you're like, how do you do that? What do you want folks to know before we conclude here?
Married, 2 daughters. One's going to graduate probably in about a year from UNL. The other one's a nurse in Des Moines. And, you know, it kind of goes back. We signed a 5-year contract when we moved here and kind of took a chance in 1996. People say, why do you stay here? Why don't you leave? I said, why do I want to leave? We raised our family here. It's a great town. The viewers are awesome. Our viewers have been great. Our ratings have continuously gone up over the years. And so you kind of, why would I leave, right?
We don't want you to leave.
Well, thank
No.
you.
We don't want him
And
to leave.
Rod, yeah, we want you to be here. Rod, one of the things we do on the show is we let Rod have the last question.
That's true. So, Rod,
why don't you ask
why
yourself
don't you go
a
ahead and ask
question?
yourself a question? And what would you like? What would you like Rod to know?
Rod, what time do you get into the station, and do you do your own makeup?
Oh,
Those
there
are the
we go.
2 most famous questions I get. Do you do your own makeup, and what time do you get there? Some people think we get there at 4:30 in the afternoon and get ready for the 5 o'clock. No, get there about 1:30 and leave about 11 o'clock at night. And yes, we do our own makeup and hair.
I always think it's funny when people say, is that his real hair? And I was just like, yeah, he just grazed it by himself.
Just a little bit on the
Yeah.
temples,
Yeah, there
right?
you
Just
go.
a little bit at a time.
White shoe polish.
That's right. They don't get any better than this guy, let me tell you.
Everybody-
He's an
Thank
all-around fine guy.
Rod
Rod Fowler,
Fowler.
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you.
We're going to have some stand-up comedy right after this break, everybody. Welcome back to Lincoln Late Night Live. You guys having a good time?
Yeah.
Well, you're in for a lot of fun. Now, we are very lucky to have a very talented gentleman on stage. He opened for Joan Rivers, the late Joan Rivers. Can you believe that? Isn't that cool? He's a very funny gentleman.
funny man.
We're lucky to have him here. Please welcome the comic, one and only, Brad Stewart,
Brad
everyone.
Stewart.
Here he is.
Make 'em
Brad.
laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
Whatever that. I love music. It's my favorite thing in the world. I got that love from my mom. But my mom had that annoying habit that a lot of people have this, myself included. When you get a song stuck in your head, but only one part of that song. Like when I was growing up, my mom loved the sitcom Designing Women. It was a great show. The theme song was Georgia on My Mind. So after every episode, my mom would walk around the house going, Georgia, Georgia. Georgia, Georgia, Georgia. Mom, please learn the rest of the song. Or please get Georgia off your mind. I used to get lyrics wrong all the time, especially when I was a kid. Like, the first cassette I ever bought with my own money was the Purple Rain soundtrack by Prince. And my favorite song was When Doves Cry. But for like 2 years, I thought the lyrics were, maybe I'm just like my father, Leopold. My friend was like, whoa, what did you say? I was like his father, Leopold. Isn't his father's name Leopold? He was like, no, maybe he's just like his father, too bold. And you're too stupid to sing it. Stop singing it. You know, remember the Huey Lewis and the News? They had that song, I want a new drug, kind of won't make me sick. When I was a kid, I thought that was, I want a new truck, when the won't make me sick. Because I grew up in small towns in Nebraska. You could easily hear somebody saying that in a small town. It's like, how you doing, Shane? I'm all right. Honestly, I kind of want a new truck. It's making me sick. Easily. But now I'm older, and I can't really listen to pop music anymore. It's just not really for me. Like, one of the biggest songs in the last 2 years was like, all about that bass, no treble. All about that bass, no treble. First of all, treble's important. If you let somebody borrow your car and they mess with your treble, you would be irate with them. But what I hate the lyrics. I'm a lyric person, so I get annoyed by lyrics a lot. Like that song, she says, my mama said, honey, don't worry about your size. Fellas want a little more booty to hold at night. Your mom never said that. Stop sharing it. It's weird. Stop it. I had a song stuck in my head today. It said, it's body like a back road. That's the dumbest song ever. It's catchy, though, and it gets stuck in your head. But you've heard that song? It's like, she body like a back road, driving with my eyes closed. That's irresponsible. It's very dangerous. But also, is that a compliment? He's obviously comparing a woman's body to a back road. That's not a good metaphor. Damn, girl, you got a body like a back road. It's all bumpy and windy. There's like dead critters next to it. People only take you when they're drunk. That's you, girl. I love you. I hate pop country music. I really do. Because I love country music. It's my favorite genre of music. I love old school. I love Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline. And I could listen to that for the rest of my life. You can clap. It's enjoyable by me. It's great. That's why pop music, I hate it so much. Like, this is a real pop country song. It's like, there's something about a beer. There's something about a truck. There's something about a beer. Something about a truck. Something about a girl in a red sundress. There's something about a beer. That's dumb. I love beer, and I'm indifferent about trucks, but I don't know what that music's for. That music's for people with no imagination. It's like, you know what? I like music, but I don't like my music thinky. Hurts my brain part. What are you singing about? Something about a beer? Okay, I'm listening. What else? Something about a truck? You're damn right. Beer in a truck, I'm on board now, buddy. I want a new truck, one that won't make me sick. But I also, because I hate pop country music so much, but I kind of feel like a hypocrite because I grew up in the late 80s and early 90s, and the biggest music at that time was glam rock music. And I had this realization that that's all pop country music is. It's the glam rock of now. Like, you would take any Poison song from the 80s, put a twang in your voice, and it would be on pop country radio right now. Like, every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy. See, that song's already perfect. We're like, listen up, y'all, don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist? Ain't looking for nothing, hey, y'all, but a good time. And it don't get better than beer and trucks and dirt roads and small towns and things of that nature. That's what I miss from my country, because country music isn't gritty anymore. It's become pop music. And I think country music should be gritty. Like Lady Antebellum is a prime example. Very sweet, nice pop band, but I don't consider them country enough. Like their biggest hit song, it was a nice little sweet song. It's called I Need You Now. And it's like, it's 1:15, I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Oh, it's a 1:15 and you're a little drunk. Ooh. What a downward spiral. Like, I want to hear a real country artist sing that song. I want to hear, like, Waylon Jennings, or Johnny Cash is a perfect, imagine Johnny Cash, like, in the late 60s, singing his version of I Need You Now. Johnny'd be like, it's 4:15, I'm coked up with a whore, and I need you now. I'm Brad here. You guys have been great. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Brad. Awesome.
Brad Stewart, everybody.
Thank you. I'm going on the other side here. Nicely done. And
Oh,
look
that's
at
Brad
this.
Stewart.
Perfect.
Good
To
job.
prove that I do like country.
What's that?
I thought we were going to break. Are we not going? We're not going to break.
No, we pulled a Johnny Carson. Remember? Do you remember when, if Johnny Carson liked a comic, he'd come out and
Yeah.
let him talk to him?
He'd call him
So
over
if
to
I
the
would have
couch.
Call him
sucked, you guys
over.
would have just stayed back there, and then he would have gone to commercial.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
So that meant
take it.
he
And
was
you would have had a
succeeded.
gig. You're like our next guest.
Yeah, we
That's cool.
pulled a
How long
Johnny
you been
Carson.
doing stand-up? man?
I started in Los Angeles after moving there from Nebraska in 1996.
Man.
So a little bit.
And now, how long you been back here in Nebraska?
I moved back in 2012.
Good. And where does we're both comics, and so and
Oh.
comedy road's not easy. I think people think it's really easy. And
No,
it's like,
it's
no.
soul crushing. You have to really love it.
I've had my soul crushed many times, my friend. So yes. Hey, where do you get your material from?
Well, obviously music a lot. My frustrations with popular music, which I always think should be relatable to anybody with ears. Usually
Such high
it's
standards.
things that make me angry that I try to take the anger away by laughing at it. That's usually where I get my best material.
Wow.
But now I'm in love. I just met a girl a couple years ago. I'm in love. I'm worried that's going to ruin my comedy because I'm happy a lot now.
Yeah.
I was in love, and it benefited my comedy.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good.
That's what I told her.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And you crushed. Rod loves all those country things too. Yes. Oh my God! Every karaoke, he's like, Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah, good. The old school, not the Luke Bryan crap. Yeah. Okay, good.
Where can we see you again, my friend? What are you
You
doing
can see
around?
me at pretty much every Sunday at the Zoo Bar here in Lincoln. I do a show. It's going to be starting at 7 at the first of the year. We have 2 coming up before the end of the year, and then those are at 8. But then we're going to have it at 7 o'clock since after that. So every Sunday at the Zoo Bar in Lincoln, 7 o'clock. I usually host it, and then sometimes I'll alternate with my partner. He does another. He hosts it for me. We go off and on, and we have people, touring comedians or local comedians. There's actually an amazing young local comedy scene in Nebraska right now. It's getting bigger and getting better, and I'm really happy to be home and being part of it right now.
That's awesome.
Well, we're glad you're here. I'm glad we
thanks.
got to see you.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
Brad, everybody. We'll be right back.
Now.
Now.
Yeah, that's over you.
Our stool's hit.
And welcome back. Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
For those of you that are watching, it's really a shame that you couldn't see the commercial breaks because they're quite fun. And we just had our workout.
That's right.
That is terrible. Isn't that terrible? You know, 2 do-si-dos poop me out.
Those were some pretty powerful do-si-dos, though.
Were they?
Yeah.
All right.
There was some good swinging going on
That's
in
good
there.
because I'm sweating more than Mike Tyson at a spelling bee right now. So I'm gonna
Well, cool down, and let's get our next guest up here. What do you say?
nice transition. Let me take a drink of water though. Look what Julie bought.
We
Isn't
have
that
our
cool?
own late night cups. So we get to look at ourselves as we drink,
How long did it take you to shop and
to
find
drink our
that?
water.
Where'd you find these? Where'd you find these? Just
I ordered them special. You know the internet. You've heard of it?
nope.
Yeah.
I have. I don't order stuff off the internet anymore. I always think I'm getting good deals, and then they charge me like 17 grand for shipping and handling.
Yeah. That's
That ever happen to
pretty
you
much
guys?
how these cost.
Think you're
so-
getting a good deal, and then you get that. I don't have that Prime Amazon thing or whatever. What's that?
Amazon Prime.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Or that too.
I'm one of the old guys. I don't have that, Rod. And now a poem from Jimmy Stewart.
Excuse me.
Yeah, just teasing. We're going to keep things going right. And now with our next guest, we're lucky to have her here. She's a playwright. She's an actress. She's an all-around fine and talented
Director.
lady. Welcome, Becky Boesen,
Becky.
everyone.
Sit in our Star Trek chairs.
Space chair.
They're Star
Aren't those
Trek chairs,
They're
aren't
right
they
off the bridge
awesome?
of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes they take a swing when you're not expecting it, like mine just did. Got my
And
Christmas
you got to be
goose
careful
early.
because if these things whack you in the head, yeah, it's kind of an interesting experience.
Last night someone spun right into Bill. It was awesome.
It was great. I loved it.
Is this chair single? Because it's kind of like it.
Isn't that nice? At the end of the night, we draw a lucky number since it's the last show, so you might get a ticket home. That's cool. Becky,
Yes.
I've known you for a long time.
Long time.
Tell us about your latest project that you've been working on.
Oh, well, I've been an actor, director, and producer for years, but I'm also a playwright, and I was commissioned to write a play about the school children's blizzard. But when I think school children's blizzard, when that was first presented to me, I'm thinking Laura Ingalls Wilder, right? Because we always go there. But as you know, if you're from the Midwest, this blizzard was brutal. This was not a fun time for little people trapped out in the storm. And so I created a one-woman show called Snowcatcher. I play 6 characters. We're currently touring the state of Nebraska, and then there's a whole curriculum devised to interact with kids, kind of highlighting that there's not so much difference between some of the hardships of then and now. So it's kind of an all-encompassing project, but a lot of fun and
Now,
really
you just
challenging.
finished one of the performances, right?
Yes, just had a performance in Holdridge at the Tassel Performing Arts Center.
That's a great space.
That's a great space. If you've never been, go. It's awesome.
And then where are you going to do it next?
We're going to be at Beatrice. The show happens at Beatrice Community Players, but then we're doing some workshops with Homestead National Monument at their education center also. So
You're the queen of outreach and connection.
That's right.
She is.
Well,
she
I-
connects all the time. with
I
stuff
like
that. That's
people
neat.
a lot, and I like little people a lot. So.
Okay, let's talk about the one-woman show process. I've done a one-man show. That's not easy. I mean,
It's not easy.
And is it any easier, and I've been wanting to ask you this, so I'm going to, is it easier to do it as a show that you have written or to do somebody else's work as a one-person
I think
show?
it's easier to do someone else's work.
Yep.
Honestly, and for some reason, it's harder to memorize. It took me 2 months. This is a 60-page show. It took me 2 months to get off book for it. And then just, I'm 41 years old. I think I'm still 28. And my knees are gone. So there's lots of,
She says to the fat guy who broke out in a sweat doing one do-si-do.
there are no do-si-dos in Snowcatcher,
My
thank
knees
goodness.
are crap, Mr. Brook.
Yeah, honestly, this thing premiered at the Midwest Theater in Scotts Bluff last March, and what the audience didn't know at the time was that I was strapped into leg braces because I couldn't stand because I was so badly injured. So that was a learning curve for me. Hey, Becky, you're getting too old for this. So lots of physical therapy and stuff to get me ready for this this round. We need to hire someone young.
So you didn't have to just learn lines, you had to learn aerobics and
Aerobics and the idea of not only creating these different characters that interact. You know, it's so interesting. So often presenters will say, and where would you like to do your costume changes? Well, there's no costume change. It's happening right here, right now. So I'll go from little Hattie, the protagonist, to Gro, the German neighbor. And it's so back and forth, quick, quick, quick. And so because of the adrenaline that happens when you're doing a show, you can take all the safety precautions, but sometimes, as you know, you're not aware if you injure yourself in the moment. Or you do, and you push through anyway. So, you know, I do
I'm
the
doing that right now.
he is.
Get this man an
I
IV.
hurt myself.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It's that whole break a leg mentality.
It is. It's break a
exactly.
leg. The show
Break a
must
leg,
go on.
The show must go on.
Yes, absolutely. But it's a joy to get to do it as long as I can do it. And so I take advantage. I have this little, for those of you that know the script, Frankie and Johnny and the Claire de Lune, the character Frankie has a moment where she's talking to Johnny about being an actress because the character is an actress. And she says something about, to do this work is an honor. Being an actor is an honor. So when my rear end's dragging and my legs are black and blue, and I just want
That's my favorite song, by the way.
Did
my rear
Stewart
end-
do something about that?
No, I just think it's a great song. Sounds like one that Rod would karaoke to.
That's right.
When my rear end's dragging. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
All I do is think of you.
All I do.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
The whole day through.
Woo! Yeah. The potential for
This is a
creativity
fake
on this
ledge. I was
it's
gonna
never
jump.
ending, isn't it? I know.
That's right.
Can I be the McMahon?
Hey-oh!
I'm feeling very
Yeah,
McMahon.
I read your little thing here.
You
Do
have
you
to hold
want
the
to
thing
do
in
the
your-
Karnak thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So tell us what you have coming up around here. So
Well,
if
well,
you
not,
wanted to
not
come.
only that, but I also want to know what other shows you've written
Right.
besides that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because you wrote one about.
I have a show that I'm absolutely in love with. My writing partner is the composer David Von Kampen, who is local, but I mean everywhere. He's a genius as a composer and just a heck of a nice guy. We have a musical called Puddin' in the Grumble that the Lead Center commissioned and premiered last March 2016 actually, so 2 Marches ago, that focuses on issues pertaining to child hunger. So again, a theater for family audiences, but really appropriate for all ages. And it tackles hunger in a very non-conventional way. And this show, since premiering at the Lead Center, has toured through Central Florida, through the University of Central Florida. But this is so exciting to me. I was contacted a long time ago by a group in West Virginia. And they asked if they could do the show. And I was pretty excited that they were interested because I know that there's a really high poverty rate in West Virginia. But the woman who contacted me at the time didn't tell me that it was a youth theater. And so it's little kids doing the show, which is kind of cool. So I flew to West Virginia with my sister, who's here, I think, hi Chris, last August, and we saw the show, and seeing this come out of the little bodies of little children, it was life transforming. And this woman in West Virginia is still touring that show. It's headed to the West Virginia legislature this year as part of a lobbying tool to end child hunger. So I'm really excited about that show. I have a Starkweather play that I'm not so excited about. I wrote it when I was 19. It's called Bullet. It keeps being produced, but if it's one of, I think every playwright has one where if you can just kind of sweep it under the rug, you would. In My Daughter's Name was my first show at the Lead Center. I spent 2 years with a woman whose daughter was murdered by her partner, and so it was a play about domestic violence. I like digging into living subjects around me, working with people that I can be face-to-face with and have a relationship with. What the Wind Taught Me was a commission by the Lead Center about the Joplin tornado. And if I can just tell the story real quickly, I was actually commissioned by the Lead Center in 2013 to write a play about the blizzard of 1888. Well, I was on the phone with my mom one afternoon who lived 30 minutes from Joplin. And all I could hear was weird buzzing over the phone. And I said, Mom, what is going on? I can barely hear you. And she said, well, I think they're having a problem with the generator at the electric plant. And I thought, that's weird. And I hung up the phone, and 2 hours later, I turned on the news and happened to be on the Weather Channel and saw what was happening in Joplin. So I had heard that storm on the phone. And I still get goosebumps when I talk about it. So that night, I had a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time. I packed up my stuff, I put them in the minivan. My then husband was coming home from work, and he said, what are you doing? And I said, going to Joplin, goodbye! and we headed down, we didn't go straight to Joplin, we stayed at my mom and dad's, but I started volunteering in Joplin and getting to know the families. And the play changed. It turned into a play about Joplin. So I've had some really unique opportunities to be sort of submerged in really sometimes tragic, but also very human and interesting circumstances that have allowed me to create work that I feel passionate about.
You're going to have another neat and unique opportunity right now, because here comes your question from Rod Fowler.
Well, you were talking about your interaction with children, in the arts.
Yeah.
With everybody in their phones these days, and that's adults too, not just kids. But what's the future of arts? Are we in good hands with our young people?
I think our young people are great and often taken for granted. I think we can turn the disadvantages of technology into a positive as teaching artists, particularly in performing arts. Kids want to connect. They just haven't always been shown how or invited to. So as we all know up here from being performers, if you walk into a school and you look a little person in the eye and you say, tell me something I should know about you. Not tell me something about yourself in a very informal way, but hey you, kid, I like you. Tell me something I should know about you. They open up, the floodgates open, and really—
That's actually the magic of theater overall, and I'm old enough to now be directing second generations. I directed Becky
Including
when she
mine.
was— how old were you when I first directed you?
I was 18.
18, and Neil Simon's Fools, was that the first show
I
that
think
we
the
did?
first one was Nonsense with Val DeVoe.
Okay,
and
we
then
did
Fools right
And then I've
afterwards.
directed your son now. so-
Evan, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
And she also christened this space when we did Gilligan's Island, the musical, together.
Ginger.
And she was Ginger.
I was like the drag queen Ginger. I don't know what I was doing.
That's not true. I think if I would have played Ginger, it would have been, one, miscast.
Well.
And two, I would have been the drag queen Ginger.
There's still
real
a
quick,
chance.
You've got a new company. Tell us real quick how to get onto the website there. What is that?
Yes, Blixt, BLIXT.space. We do arts engagement and education. We install curriculum. We work on new works and new aspiring Broadway musicals with other writers and composers. And this winter, I should pop this out there, we're offering singing telegrams, personalized singing telegrams to go door to door. So Blixt.space, you can take a look. We got all kinds of weird, fun stuff going on.
Rod and I are doing
Great.
singing telegrams. Did you know that? For
What?
the holidays? Yep.
Thieves! No, I'm just kidding.
No.
That's
we are
awesome.
available
You're
for—
okay.
Well, yes.
You'll
no
be
one's,
okay.
No one's booked us whatsoever, and so you're in good shape.
Maybe we can collaborate.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to learn stuff. That's not
Just
good.
do-si-do.
Do-si-do. Yeah, that worked well. This is Becky Boesen, everybody. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
Quality, affordable theater. The place where the arts deserve attention. The TADA Theatre.
Visit us at the TADA Theatre in Lincoln's historic Haymarket. Call 438-TADA for tickets and see more on our website at tadatheater.info.
That is Mr. Bill Maltus right there, everybody. You're only as good as your piano player.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, both of you guys, for doing all three shows for us this time. We appreciate it. How about a round of applause for Rod Fowler over there, too? Nice guy. Good.
All right, we want to bring up our next guest, great musical talent, John Tavern and Natalie Cadlick.
Here's John Devlin. Natalie, hi, sweetie.
Hi.
There. You grab
Come on,
that.
somebody take
Welcome,
the
Mr.
Star,
Tavlin. You can-
the Star
we're gonna
Trek
give you
chairs.
both.
No,
Yeah.
you're going to sit in the chair. You get the chairs.
We're going to take you on a ride on the Enterprise.
Aren't those awesome?
They're lovely.
Aren't they nice?
Yes.
Mr. Tavlin, welcome.
What is this?
Velvet?
Is this velvet?
It's velvet. It's nice.
Is that
It's
velvet?
nice.
This is beautiful.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You're going to do some music for us tonight, but tell us, you've got something that's really unique that I think is great fun. You have created a character here that is quite cool. Tell us about it.
Well, the character is Johnny Manhattan from New York City, of course. And it's a long story about how I kind of got that nickname. So it's something that's been around for a while. And I decided to put it to work in a band that we put together to support the University of Nebraska Jazz Studies program primarily, and also to perpetuate swing era music and help in jazz education. And it's modeled after a couple of bands I've performed with, one in Chicago and one in New York City.
How long have you been playing, John?
How long have I been?
Yeah, playing the trumpet.
Oh, I've been playing trumpet for 57 years.
Yeah.
5'7".
You're an all-around talented lady, talented actress, talented singer. What do you do? Just call you and say, hey, I got this idea. How'd this come about?
Well, yeah, this is my dad.
There you go. Now the truth is out.
My maiden name is Tavlin, and I am married now. And my Johnny Manhattan name is Ruby Diamond.
Perfect. And you look gorgeous as a ruby diamond.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But he kind of said maybe several years ago, if I put together a big band, would you want to be our singer? And I said, okay, sure. But I went to the university for vocal performance. And
you're
so,
a talented actress as well.
Well, thank you.
There you go. Is that kind of fun to have your daughter performing with you? That's pretty
Very
cool.
fun, considering I've been involved with musical theater in Lincoln for 50 years. And this was the first opportunity I had to perform with Natalie.
Sometimes you have to create it in order to do it.
That's right.
So that's good. What I think is important is that you're keeping a style of music out there that some folks don't know that they should know, and that's where I commend you, is because I love that style of music that you're doing. You want to talk a little bit about that mission
Yes,
for you?
swing-era music is foundational to the development of jazz music as we know it today. Jazz music is a type of idiom that it builds on its heritage, and one of the things we notice is that the kids going to university today, they have no experience in swing-era music, and this is extremely important music as far as jazz heritage is concerned. And Dr. Paul Haar, who's the director of Jazz Studies, had commented to me that he's noticed that the students, as they come in, they really don't know anything about swing-era music. So I said, I've had this idea for years, let's put a band together, and we're going to employ Jazz Studies students at the University of Nebraska. About half the band is composed of students there, most of them doctoral students, and these are very experienced musicians. These are not students in the way you might think of a student. The purpose of the band, among many, is to provide these individuals with employment, real gigs that they're being paid for, and also to study this heritage and have experience in playing this type of music and the stylistic elements of it. And we take this very seriously. We're trying to sound, and we really do sound like the classic big bands of the swing era.
And we should mention that you perform at the Del Rey Ballroom as the way to find you folks performing.
Yes.
And you have a gig coming up pretty soon, do you not?
Yes, December 15th, Friday, December 15th, downbeat is 7 o'clock. The show is 3 hours. We go from 7 to 10. And it actually is somewhat of a theatrical performance because we present it as a live radio broadcast from 1940.
Nice.
And so it's like the story of a swing-era big band, the Johnny Manhattan Orchestra, the Toast of New York City, broadcasting live from the fabulous Rainbow Room, high atop Rockefeller Center. And it's a show about a big band playing swing-era music. So we have commercials. We might be sponsored by LaSalle Motor Cars, for example, by the new Ritz cracker. I've got an ad. I've got an ad from 1939 for the Ritz cracker that we do that. We throw some advertising in. And so it is somewhat of a theatrical performance, an experience, and the audience is our live studio audience, like the audience sitting here tonight, to witness this live radio broadcast, which what they did in the swing era.
I really wanted to have John on because big band is in my blood. My grandfather was a big band conductor. His name was Chahachik, but they made him change his last name to Chick Sparrow because nobody could pronounce Chahachik. And he used to conduct a big band and sing through his megaphone. And when I heard you guys were doing this, I thought that is awesome. Was this a style of music now that you were familiar with before?
Yes. Well, and anybody who's ever heard of Ella Fitzgerald has probably heard some of her music, and especially being a musical person, growing up singing and going to college to sing, it's been really fun to be able to pick the songs that I end up singing with the band because it's some of the most beautiful music to me. It's fun. It sits really nicely in my voice. I really enjoy singing it.
And you understand the lyrics.
Right, and
Yes.
you can understand literally as long as I don't mess them up tonight. You probably will notice if I do. But yeah, they're just classics. It's real singing. There's nothing sort of electronic about it. And so I really enjoy singing this type of music, actually, above anything else.
Mr. Fowler, do you have a question for Mr. Johnny Manhattan and Ruby Diamond?
Ruby, I'd like to know, as a father of 2 daughters, what have you learned from Dad as far as any tips and advice in show business? What have you learned?
What have I learned from Dad about show business?
Yeah, what has he taught you?
Probably to be myself, to not try to copy anybody else. You're never going to do it as well as the person you're trying to be like, so you might as well just be the best you.
That's
Yeah.
good advice.
Good advice.
Good advice.
Way to go, Dad.
Well, we're going to be in for a treat right after this break. We're going to hear Johnny Manhattan and Ruby Diamond right after this.
All right.
We welcome you back, and we're in for quite a treat. Please welcome Johnny Manhattan and Ruby Diamond right here.
Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Won't you tell me where my love can be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Oh, Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring, where my heart can go a-journeying over the shadows and the rain to a blossom-covered lane? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as a will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy serenading the moon. Skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, but my heart is riding on your wings. So if you see them anywhere, won't you lead me there? So if you see them anywhere, won't you lead me there? Oh, skylark, won't you lead me there?
Nice job.
Wow. Amazing.
Johnny Manhattan,
Amazing.
Ruby Diamond right there. Yeah.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. I'm coming over to give you a hug. Thank
How
you.
about Mr. Bill Maltus playing along there, Bill? Good job, Bill. Whoop, 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 whoop.
We're
Well, this is going to conclude our show tonight, and it's going to conclude our three-night run. As the host, I have the pleasure of thanking everybody that was part of this, and a big, big thank you goes to all the people that are behind the scenes. Nan,
That's right.
Dan, Kevin, Soren, Megan, and Ariana back there on lights. And we also want to thank Keith, who is up there shooting this, and he will have this up on our YouTube channel. And we appreciate all your hard work. It takes a team, as well as Jenna, who designed this wonderful set
And
for
I
us as well.
want to thank you, Bob, for being a great co-host.
Thank you.
And
We had a good time.
We had a good time, and we hope you had as great a time as we had, because it's just a fun evening with all this talent.
We want to thank Mr. Rod Fowler for being here with us, and Bill Maltus on the
Maltus.
keys. One more
Thank
time,
you.
right there, Johnny Manhattan and Ruby Diamond. I'm Bob Brook.
I'm Julie Burney. Happy
Happy holidays. Good night, everybody.
Good night.